most of the teams, this is a new track. Some teams have tested here, but nobody's raced here yet in the American Le Mans Series and/or the WEC. So the learning curve for the teams is much higher here than it typically is at the tracks that we go to, where we've got a lot of history and knowledge that we can carry forward and reuse the next time we show up. So really for all the teams, there's a tremendous amount of learning going on, both for the drivers, how to maximize the track from a driving perspective, but also for the engineers and the rest of the team who spend their time getting the cars set up so that the drivers can actually maximize the car's performance.
Well, we're used to working within bumpy tracks that have a lot of undulations, a lot of surface changes in the U.S. We don't run on any other Formula One tracks, so we kind of have to get used to how that is. A lot of our work on the car for handling is done for the bumps that we face on the other tracks.
We're used to racing street circuits, all circuits like Sebring, for example. They are very bumpy, and basically the car setup needs to be very adapted to those kind of situations. But here is completely brand new racetrack, very smooth, I mean a different kind of corners. So for sure it's very, very individual on the way we need to set up the car.
This circuit it's a lot of long, fast straights here, but then there's a lot of section of very high-speed corners. So you have to set the car up in a way that is going to go maximise its potential on the fast straights, but also get around the corners as fast as possible. So you're trying to sort of find that balancing act. And so we'll be talking with the engineers and working through how the car is set up and how it's working on the track. And also we'll be looking at the conditions and seeing how hot it's going to be getting through the day. Well, one of the things about getting ready for here is to try and get acclimatised, particularly to the weather it is right now. It's really quite hot and humid. And so I've been out running most mornings, trying to get myself acclimatised to the heat here in Texas. The humidity is obviously quite a thing.
This is a classic modern Formula One track, meaning it's ultra smooth, which is very, very good. That also means that it has at least one section which is really meant only for Formula One cars, as far as I can make out. All the other modern Formula One tracks have the same thing. And it's a series of very tight, difficult turns that probably really tax the dynamics of a Formula One car, but don't really work for our cars, which are made for endurance racing at tracks like Le Mans, which is a very, very long flowing track. So when we look at our data, that's where we in our sports car are losing a lot of time. We're going to have to do a bunch of things to our car that we would never consider, just to make it suitable for this track.